When you find out that you don't own your home, you don't own your house, you don't own your kids, and that the system has really been designed to take anything you own and split the title to it, so you don't actually have control over both the legal and equitable title, you start to realize that you don't actually own anything. And that we're sold this idea that if we put it into an entity that was created by the state, that we're somehow going to own it. But that path just leads us to still not owning anything. You see, if you create an entity that was created by the state, like an LLC, it's not your entity. It can be taken from you, the property that's inside of it. The entity can be shut down. If you stop paying for the entity to exist, it doesn't exist anymore. They can essentially shut it down. They can lien the property that's inside it in order to get what they consider theirs inside of that respective arrangement. They have interest in that respective property. And so if you want to be in a situation where you don't carry the liability of owning property and you don't want your property to be able to be taken, then you have to create an entity of your own, an entity that doesn't fall inside that respective system. And the only way that I really know how to do that is using a trust. A trust can be created where the property is actually owned by the trust. When you make a trust non-grantor and irrevocable, it means the trust itself actually owns the property inside of it. And because it's a private trust, meaning you didn't have to register it with the state, then that means that only the parties that are a party to that agreement are parties to that agreement. When you start understanding that that gives you more power, more flexibility, and the privacy protections, plus you don't end up owning the property, you start realizing that these other entities just aren't a very good option to use if what you're wanting to do is have those types of protections, because those don't have anything. You see, when we're registering things into the state, such as property, they see themselves as having an interest in it. And so as such, if there's a party that has interest in property, they have rights over it. And so if you have a property or you have an entity that wasn't created in the state and it's your creation, then they can't really tell it what it can or it cannot do. And that gives you far more power when you're creating something or you're working to protect something like the property that you've accumulated in your life. And so if you're interested in a trust, you should hit me up. I'd be happy to have a private conversation with you and talk to you about what works.